Yes, welcome inside our CBS Sports Studios. I'm Adam Schein alongside my guy, the great Kyle Long. And Kyle, the Bears have a knack. It is ridiculously amazing watching this football team find ways to win. They are now 7-3. Another walk-off, another gem in the fourth quarter. Santos with the kick, 47, 48 yards to win it.
40-something yards.
And here's the beauty. As we're sitting here watching this game, and the Vikings, who looked dead, it was 16-3 at one point in the fourth, and they scored the touchdown, J.J. McCarthy and Jordan Addison. We look at each other and said the same thing, too much time.
Yeah.
Like, that's now the feeling
I think my words were, here comes Caleb.
Yeah. I mean, I said too
and
much
he never
time.
got the chance. Duvernay with a great return, a couple running plays to get you in position.
You expect them to win.
It's funny because in years past, you expect this team to find a way to lose.
Bingo.
And, I mean, they're up 16-3 to your point, and I'm like, is it enough? Is there enough, is there little enough time for me not to sweat this thing out? And, of course, I ended up sweating this thing out, and the Bears end up winning the football game. But I think that is the big difference here, is this team has a belief that even when they're down, they have a chance at winning. And even when they are winning, they're going to keep the lead and find a way to be victorious. And I think it starts with Ben Johnson. I really do. And the defense did a great job today holding that football team who, even though they've got a quarterback with some question marks, they've got a lot of star power on the football field. The Minnesota Vikings do. So to go compete in that environment was really special to me. And they're playing complementary football, all three phases. And you saw the special teams.
You nailed it.
Never more important than at the end of the game with a massive cross-field kickoff return into enemy territory. And then obviously Santos gets the opportunity to fix his blunder from earlier in the game. The miss turned it into a make at the end, and the Bears win.
There's a first-place Bears team at the time that we're taping this. Which
Say that again?
First-place Bears.
Oh, boy.
7-3, first-place Bears. And here's the beauty, right? You reference it, all three phases. And it's what they do on offense. Swift ran the ball with authority today. What they do on defense, this has become one of the better defenses in terms of how clutch and tough they are in the entire league. Special teams, heroes at the end of that game, whether it's the return game, whether it's Santos making that field goal. And let's give Ben Johnson credit. Like, we talked about this, right? There was one human on the planet who I thought was the perfect guy in terms of X's and O's and play selection and culture and attitude. And I think it's worth noting, the Bears started the season 0-2. And the fact that they are 7-1 since is remarkable. And it speaks to the character, speaks to the tenacity, the toughness, the coaching. Caleb Williams plays his best when it matters the most. This was such an inspiring hire. And I love the Bears that picked up to the playoffs this year. I never expected this.
You know what stands out to me the most in year two of Caleb Williams, year one of Ben Johnson, is the faith that I see from his head coach in his quarterback. And today it was evident to me, even in the missed long-distance throws that Caleb Williams went to time and time again. They were just outside of DJ Moore's reach, just outside of Rome Odunze's reach. I like that, okay? Because a lot of the success we've seen from Caleb Williams has been at the line of scrimmage, middle of the field, and some of the gripes about him last year were his inaccuracy on the deep ball. Well, if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm saying I like what I see at the line of scrimmage. I like what I see with the intermediate game. My young quarterback has cut his sack numbers more than in half, Adam. More than in half. I don't think you understand how important not taking sacks is in the National Football League. That was a priority. I love that. And today, the deep shots, as I was alluding to, it tells me that he's like trying to figure out what else. What next can we do with Caleb Williams? What other things can we do to be even more explosive? I think about this offense, one of the quietest top five offenses I've ever seen in the National Football League. They get no respect, no love, but here we sit every week and say they found a way to run the ball effectively. Caleb Williams in the second half, in 2 minute, finds a way to make things happen. This is a good football team, and I'm tired of pretending like they're not.
Don't pretend. Yeah. And what's crazy when you look at the schedule, right? And we could talk about potential pitfalls or tough spots, and Pittsburgh's coming up, and then they have the day after Thanksgiving game that Friday against the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm gonna try to get that one.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be amazing.
The long
twice.
Rivalry.
The Browns, the Niners, who won't be easy. They end the season with Detroit. See, here's the thing when you look at the schedule. We could play the game. I don't want to. the win-loss game. I actually think, you see the Bears schedule? I want you to take it.
I'm with you.
It doesn't matter. Because the Chicago Bears at this stage, they can beat everybody in the NFL. They don't blink. They had a 16-3 lead, and they blew it, and then they pounce on special teams. You go back to the Giants game. This team has this unbelievable ability to play their best when it matters the most. There's no ego involved. All these teams on the schedule have to beat the Bears, and, you know, that division is murderer's row, right? I mean, the NFC North, and Bears win the division, don't win the division. I think Chicago is as good or better than Detroit, and they already beat Detroit. They absolutely can beat Detroit. I don't think there's any question about it. And I think they're better than the Green Bay Packers. So when I look at the Chicago Bears and what they're capable of, I think sky's the limit for this football team.
I think sky is the limit for this football team. And, you know, mostly people that disagree with me on the topic of the Chicago Bears say they haven't beat anybody. Well, I would invite them to take a look around the National Football League and identify some of the teams that you think are shoo-ins to win every week. And I can circle 2 or 3 games on their schedules where I said, well, they should have beat them. What happened to the Buffalo Bills against the Miami Dolphins? What happened to the Green Bay Packers against Cleveland Browns? What almost happened to the Green Bay Packers every damn week, it seems like, Adam? All I'm saying is, any given Sunday, and this Bears team finds a way to be in there any given day with an opportunity to win.
Yeah, listen, it's an amazing turn of events. It's
and
an
ahead
amazing
of schedule.
turnaround. And here's the thing, in that regard, I would never say this to a Bear player, and you played, you know, because I almost think it would be offensive, because no one wants to hear, well, you know, they're playing with the house's money a little bit. But I think in a lot of ways, because they're ahead of schedule, that's what makes them dangerous. Like, the season's already a success. Now they have a chance to be a little special in 2025.
Yeah, I feel like it's when you go to the bowling alley and you plan on going to play a couple games of bowling, and they say, well, you bought 3 games, so you get the first one free, okay? And that's the Bears right now. They're on their free game of bowling. And, you know, it's going to worry some people that the Bears are at the top of the NFC North. I understand that. Everybody wants to
deal with it.
Everybody wants to laugh.
Deal with it.
Like, they're getting used to winning in November, and then when December comes, they're going to get used to winning in December.
That's the point.
And they're going to get an opportunity potentially to play in the postseason and be one of 3 teams from the NFC North, depending on what happens with the Niners. I think from the NFC West, 3 teams from the NFC North get the opportunity to go to the playoffs. That could be really fun, Adam.
If we went bowling tonight, what could you bowl?
I'd go triple digits. I wouldn't get above 120, I don't think.
I think 120 max.
Okay. I'm a velocity guy.
This might surprise
Velocity, beers, and onion rings, baby.
I'm in for the beer. I'm in for the onion rings. Velocity, not so much.
Go Bears.
Love onion rings.